Ahmed Tinubu, if you not perform well, forget 2027. Nobody go vote you. If you not like, share beans, share rice, share soup. Before I tell Nigerians to collect and not to vote them. Now, don't collect from them. The hunger will not kill you, no go kill you. And if you collect that thing, for how long? It will sustain you. Don't belittle yourself. Don't ridicule yourself by collecting that rubbish they come to share. Person no fit remember you now during campaign, if he remember you. And after that, until for another 4 years, and when I still they follow them, because when I be bad.
Hello, welcome to JIBRIN Angle on the Weleka TV. My name is JIBRIN, and this is my angle. Once again, thank you for joining me on this monologue. You already know what I'll be talking about on this monologue. The video you just watched now is the subject of this monologue. And yes, I don't know why people keep saying this thing. I think the person you heard on that clip is, I think Ahmed Isa is his name. I'm not sure. I can't remember his name, but I think Ahmed Isa is his name. If I am wrong, please you can please send in the name at the comment section, and yeah, I will appreciate that. Ahmed Isa, I think Berekete family is the owner of a Berekete TV or so. They call it Berekete. I used to know it. I know it those days as Berekete family. Yes, what he said, honestly, on a very, very good atmosphere, in a fair environment, a fair country, a country where things works, a country where the electoral process is prudent, is judicious, is transparent, is credible. And yeah, that is the right thing to say. But I don't know, probably some of us still we have suddenly developed dementia within the last in less than 2 years of the presidential election took place in, I think, February 2023. So about less than 2 years. I don't know if some of us have suddenly developed dementia, or we no longer remember what really transpired and how Bola Tinubu became the president, the president that we have today. Okay, in case you have forgotten, let me remind you that Ahmed Tinubu did not win the election. He bulldozed himself. He rigged the election. He obviously paid the INEC chairman to circumvent the electoral system and imposed himself on us. So there was an election. There's no doubt about that. Someone else won that election, which I believe Peter Obi actually outrightly won that election. They deliberately gave him the third position because they knew quite all right he was the forerunner. Not forerunner, sorry. He was at the forefront of the context. So if they had given him second position, he would have strong ground to contest the election. So they were trying to avert the contestation of the election. That was why they gave Peter Obi third. But under normal circumstances, Peter Obi won the election overwhelmingly. That is my own opinion, and that is the general opinion, honestly. For anyone who wants to be fair, Peter Obi won that election. Now, the INEC actually gave it to Bola Tinubu, the highest bidder. That's what I call it. They gave it to the highest bidder, and that's just the reality. Now, I don't know, with Berekete family, Ahmed Isa just made that. I don't know whether he forgot, and so many other people have made that statement that 2027, that Bola Tinubu should forget. Some people will say some of the phrases are Bola Tinubu should forget 2027, the North will not vote for him. Bola Tinubu should forget 2027 because he did not perform. For Bola Tinubu should forget 2027 because people will not vote for him. I don't know. All the people, everyone, honestly, they are obviously, these are right-framed, right-thinking Nigerians who means well for Nigeria, who empathizes with the pains that people are passing through in Nigeria, who sincerely and genuinely want things to work, want the process, desires and crave for the process to work. in Nigeria and for Nigerians. However, my point is, where were they when Bola Tinubu circumvented the system with his money bag? I don't get it. So now I want these people to explain to me how they think that Bola Tinubu cares about their votes or our votes. Bola Tinubu does not care about our votes. Because if he did that, I keep saying this, for someone, Bola Tinubu did this, perpetrated this act of radicalism and vandalism, vandalizing our electoral system, bastardizing it and balkanizing it. He did all this outside power. He was able to do it. He was able to achieve this just with his money. That's just it. He did this and nobody said anything. We did not protest. We didn't do anything. We allowed him to be where he is today as a president. Now, if he could do that outside the realm of power, he could have, if he could achieve where he is right now, outside the realm of power, how much more can he achieve it? Even much more easier now that he is the commander-in-chief of the INEC, the armed forces, the security forces, the paramilitary, all of them, all these, anything, every government institution right now are all at his beck and call. They are all at his command. They are all under his whims and caprices. They are all at his service. So tell me, you think Bola Tinubu cares about our votes? You think that is his plan? He doesn't care about our votes. And that is why he doesn't even care about the economy, whether he performs well or not, because that is not his target. His target to amass wealth, and more wealth, power, more power, and more power. That is just his target. He's careless about his modus operandi. You will see from his body language, his utterances, you will understand that this man does not give a good, I don't want to use a vulgar language here. He doesn't give a damn about what we think or how we think or what we feel about his performance. He doesn't care. He is insensitive to our plights, our concerns and worries and challenges. He doesn't care. Because he knows that if he was able to achieve where he is right now as the president, prior to the election, during the election, he can easily, much more easily achieve it as the commander-in-chief of everything in Nigeria. And that is the reality. And this brings me down back to why I have been very, very angry at Peter Obi. For those of you who are the obedient, I was an obedient. For those of you who are obedient, who keep hammering and coming at me, insulting me one way or the other, again, your insults or your irrational thinking or thoughts cannot change my own rational way of thinking, my own common sense. Because what I do on this platform is just expressing common sense. Common sense. Of course, that is the most the scarcest of all commodities these days, because people no longer use their common sense. And the common sense is that we can't just wrest power. Bola Tinubu we can't wrest power from Bola Tinubu through electoral process. That is just the reality. The electoral process has been compromised, highly, deeply compromised. The man who perpetrated who perpetrated the act of rape on our democracy and our electoral system is still there as the umpire. How can you expect anything good to come out of our electoral system? Now, this brings me back to why I have been very, very frustrated and angry at Peter Obi, and why I think that Peter Obi has lost his onus, he has lost that fiber, the fabric of support. The support is still there, but honestly, it's fast waning and diminishing. And that is whether you accept it or not. The reality is just is scaring us at our faces, and will continue to scare us, will stare us in the face. That's just the reality. So, my point is, Peter Obi trusted our courts at the wrong time. And look, don't get me wrong, Peter Obi, I've rated Peter Obi as the best governor Nigeria ever produced. And with evidence or evidences, for any right-thinking Nigerian, for every right-thinking Nigerian, he's evidentially the best governor Nigeria, best governor Nigeria has ever produced. So far, we don't know of tomorrow, but so far he is go through his record, and honestly, he could have been, if not the best president, but at least far, far better than Tinubu, Goodluck Jonathan, Buhari put together. He could have been better. At least he could have. Our situation at this time couldn't have been where we are. Could have been better, much better under Peter Obi. So he was the best then, and honestly, in all honesty, he is still for now, based on the people we know in the polity right now, he is still the best. Honestly, if Peter Obi becomes the president, he will still be the best. He will do much better than them. There's no doubt about that. I hope. I wish, not even hope. I wish. It's not even about hope, because Peter Obi is not going anywhere anymore, unfortunately. And that is my frustration. That is why I'm angry at him. I am frustrated at his behavior and attitude towards the Nigerian system. You cannot depend. I always say a time and season for everything. You cannot use the time that you're supposed to protest to depend to trust in our judiciary. Look, when he depended on judiciary because the judiciary favored him when he was did the right thing. Let me use that. Not that he favored him, but he did. The judiciary did the right thing as the governor when he was impeached, I think once or twice or whatever, and he was returned by the courts. But he failed to understand that. I think then that was when the court had a level. The court started waning at that point, but at that point, where at that time, they were relatively on a level playing pedestal then. And I think it was during Obasanjo also. Yes, I think it was during Obasanjo. I can't remember, but Obasanjo. Yeah, but the courts were relatively, so the federal government was not interfering in the states, in the political judgment or political cases at the lower levels then. Unlike what we have today, the center it has interest in every political case in our courts up to local government level. And that is the point. So I don't know. He actually had that faith and trust in the confidence in the judiciary, because during his time as a governor, the judiciary did the right thing, and he was expecting the judiciary to do the right thing this time around. But oh my God, he has forgotten that the judiciary, usually when it has to do with federal focus on federal issues matters, the president of the day will always have interest. I remember during the Obasanjo regime, when Uwais was then the Chief Justice of the Federation, when we had Obasanjo's case too, it was the Supreme Court had a judgment in favor of Obasanjo. It was supposed to be upturned. We expected him. I remember there was tension then. We expected the case to be upturned at the Supreme Court for Obasanjo. I think we expected the election to be recalled. That was what we expected. But always ruled in favor of Obasanjo then. And then we actually felt that the Supreme Court, Obasanjo intervened and actually bribed the Supreme Court as well. In fact, there was a figure that came out there as rumor and came out in some dailies or whatever, about 250 million naira was actually given as a bribe then. That was what we read. So now my point is, Peter Obi was supposed to, if Peter Obi had actually mobilized for protest, peaceful protest, it could eventually spiral into violence. But so what? But Peter Obi wouldn't. I didn't expect him to call for violent protest anyway. Call for peaceful protest. If it becomes something else, that's none of your business. But the most important thing is you are fighting. We will be at that point. We know that we are fighting for a change. We are fighting to correct the system, to correct the anomalies in the system, and that is just it. So honestly, it's a shame that we are where we are today, because one man in the name of Peter Obi just became weakling and became a coward, suddenly turned a coward. He just couldn't fight for us. And sometime last week he came out and was saying he doesn't care anything, whatever happens to him now because the government is going after him personally or whatever. I don't know. It's just late. It's too late. It's too late because Bola Ahmed Tinubu has become a cancer. Incidentally, we are lucky, but because he is a cancer, but the cancer that he is to Nigeria and Nigerians right now is the stage 1 cancer. So this cancer, we are curable of this cancer, and we have to, and that is why we need to do the right thing. Let's not depend on the judiciary. Let's not depend on the electoral system. Let's do the needful, either by the military or by revolution. These are the two options that we have to go with. Anything outside these two options, unfortunately, we will be stuck with Bola Tinubu even after 2027. And that is the unfortunate situation. And this is my angle.